Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Jackie from Jack Literary Corner, and I thought I would talk to you guys about what I just bought recently because I have no self-control. I was able to control it for one time where I only bought one book, but my mom didn't say anything about me buying only one book, so I was able to get away with. Although she still was like, "Oh my God, Jackie!" When I told her the price of all books I bought, but I bought 4 books. One is a hardcover. So I have mentioned this book. I've been procrastinating buying this book, but I finally bought it, and that is, yes, I finally have a Lady Midnight, and I love these spines. I think these spines are so cool. If I ever wanted to rebuy, the other series, Infernal Devices and Immortal Instruments, I would love to do that with the new spines. But I'm trying to make room on my bookshelf, and like I said, I only have the 2 shelves, and one of them is I only have the one big bookcase, and then another set of shelves, so I don't have a lot of space. In fact, I am donating Throne of Glass when I finish the series. I am going to finish it first. But I finally bought it. And I did decide to read a little bit more Bane Chronicles this morning before we left. And I'm on the Rise of the Hotel du Mort. So that's probably motivation for me to finally buy Lady Midnight. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the Bane Chronicles, and then I'm going to donate them. That's what I'm going to do, because I want to keep reading her books, but I'm not, as obsessed with her books anymore. So I still am going to buy them. I'm still going to spend the money and buy. I'm still going to spend the $15, because this is $15, and buy the books. But, and who knows, maybe I'll like the series better anyway. And who knows, maybe once I get more room, I can rebuy the books, the rest of the series. But I'm going to finish this out, and then I have the Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy I just got last Christmas, so I'm going to read that as well. But, these stories are just, they're okay, But anyway, so I finally bought Lady Midnight, and like I said, I love these spines. Aren't these spines awesome? Read. I've heard a lot of positives about this series, and people have said that Cassandra Clare just gets better and better each series, and I can't wait. And this is the story about the characters that were introduced in the last book of the Immortal Instrument, so we get to spend some time with some of her new characters. And I also hear that there is a bit of a angsty romance kind of thing in here. Cannot wait. I can't wait to read this book. And then I'm going to buy Lord of Shadows, but I might wait a little bit on Lord of Shadows, because I don't know when the last book in the trilogy is coming out, because I think it is going to stay a trilogy unless she decides, like she did with More Instruments, to write more books. Okay, next book I bought. I am finally checking out. I bought 2 sci-fi books because I do want to read more sci-fi. So I finally did it. I finally bought the Illuminated Files. The first one, the Illuminated. I finally bought it. And I was trying to limit myself for 3 books, but then I couldn't narrow down between the 2 sci-fi books, so I ended up buying all 4 of them, and I spent like $62. Finally am jumping on this bandwagon and getting into the series. And at least it's a paperback one, so it's a little cheaper. It's like actually it's more expensive in Canada. It's like $18 in Canada, and in the US it's $13. Wow. Of course, I'm rounding it up, because actually the actual price is $12.99 in the US and $17.99 in Canada. But I'm rounding it up, and that does include tax. But I'm finally getting into this. But there's another book that's that I have here that's also on an alternative format that I gotta read. Now, this, of course, this is my first exposure to alternative format because I actually have in the book Reconstructing Amelia, which was actually a pretty good book. It's really interesting. It's like this mother finds out that her daughter has supposedly committed suicide, and it's about her trying to prove that that's not what she did, because it's not like her daughter to do that. And she slowly starts to piece together and learn about her daughter's, what was going on and how she became part of this clique of girls who basically ruined her reputation. And there's a little bit of LGBTQ representation in there. Like there's a lesbian romance in the story. And the alternative format in that case is emails and text messages. So this is not my first exposure to the alternative format, and I have no problem with that. I just gotta, hopefully I'll get into the story. But I can't wait. I finally did this. I finally got this book. I'm finally jumping on the bandwagon. And this is what I mean. I tend to jump on bandwagons at the last minute. Okay, so the next sci-fi book that I bought that I couldn't decide between Illuminate and this one is Defy the Stars by Claudia Gray. And she writes Star Wars books as well. But I read the back, and the reason why I was interested in this book is because it has a character that's an android. And I've recently got into Star Trek thanks to my best friend Terry, and, well, more so meaning some of the actors from Star Trek. Let me clarify, Star Trek Next Generation, not the original Star Trek. Next Generation. So I met LeVar Burton and Brent Spiner, and this year I will be meeting Michael Dorn, which is really cool. He's the one who plays Worf, so I'll be meeting him today. And I had a crush, I have developed a massive crush on, what is his name? Brent Spiner's character, Data. I've developed a massive crush on this character, so I remember hearing about this character, about the character in this one is an android, and I've always been interested in that kind of story, and how in those kind of stories where a character that's an android wants to be human or begins to understand human emotion and begins to kind of express human emotions. I've always been really fascinated with those stories, and I know this book has received criticism, and not everybody has been pleased with it. Some people have been disappointed by it, but I bought it, and then I spent the money. I spent like $10.99 on this, so technically, if you round it up, it's $11. So and then plus, I'm very easy to please anyway, so I'll probably love it. And there is a sequel, Defy the Worlds, apparently, so I'm going to read that one as well. If I love this one, which I probably will, so I'll probably will read it. But I cannot wait. I am definitely wanting to get more into sci-fi. Because it's just sometimes, and I want to check out the Expanse series as well. I've been hearing a lot about that lately. And then the last book I bought is the hardback book, and that is The Immortal List by Chloe Benjamin. This is a book that I've been hearing a lot about from my more literary booktubers, like Olive from Book Olive. She's the biggest one, and I think Jen from Insert Literary Pun read this. And a few others, some of the British booktubers, I think I've read it. And I'm already prepared because I know it's more magical realism than fantasy. And this was the one of the bookstore employees. This was their pick. What's really cool about this bookstore is it's an independent bookstore. It's not a used bookstore like the one that I have in the Village, but the one that they have in the Village. I don't own the Village. And what's really cool is a lot of times they have where on some of their books they have a little sticky note where the author describes the book and says this is their pick of their pick of a book that they think you should read. which I think is really cool. And it's a small bookstore, but it's nice. I mean, it doesn't have all the books that I want. Like, the sections are really small. It has like classics, and then it has a section for like literary books, and there's a section for like politics and world war and war books, and like biographies of historical figures and all that stuff. And it also has a big section in the back with for kids books and like little kids and like middle. And I recently found that there's a middle grade section. I scanned the section. I didn't thoroughly look, but I did scan the section to see if there was that series starting with the Demon King. I looked to see if it was there as well, but I didn't see it. But then I didn't look thoroughly, so because I was going back and forth with deciding if I wanted to buy all 4 of these books. But yeah, this book is basically about these siblings who find out there's like a gypsy that came to their town, and they all find out how they're all gonna die because of the gypsy. And the book is divided into sections, so you learn about each of these characters, each of these kids, and how knowing their death will affect how it will affect their lives from then on. Okay, so those are all the books I bought. Yes, I bought 4 books because I have no self-control and I couldn't decide between the 2 sci-fi books. And then what's really cool is also that this bookstore also gives you bookmarks. I got 4 paper bookmarks. I mean, they're nothing fancy. It's just, it has the name of the store on there, the country bookshop, and there's this image of the animal that kind of represents it's like their icon. Every time I say the word icon, I think of econ. When back in like middle school, we watched a video where they had song and dance numbers about this guy, econ, and he represented economics or something, or maybe he wasn't a guy, it was a thing about, they talked about economics in a kid-friendly way, so that's cool. Have you guys bought any books recently? Or do you actually have self-control and haven't bought any books and are trying to, or using the library instead of going to the store? Or have you done either, or just trying to get through the books you already have, which is something I need to do. But the good news is The Daughter of the Forest that I'm reading for Tome Topple is a book that I've had for a long time, so that's good. I need to finish that book, which I am. I mean, it wasn't a book that I started, but it's a book that I need to read, and I am reading it, and I have a good chunk left, but I think I'm going to finish that book. But that also means that I'm going to have a short reading month, because next week is SuperCon weekend, and my friend Terry is going to be visiting for the week. And the last thing I'm gonna do while she's here is read. I mean, I might read like in bed, and the first weekend she's here, I'm going to be, my parents, since the dogs have to wake you up in the middle of the night and ask to be let out, and they'll sleep with my parents. So when my parents go out of town, I'm babysitting the dogs. So I will be sleeping in my parents' bed, and we'll probably be getting up. But what's good is while Terry's here, I won't be working, so it will be okay. It won't be that bad if I end up waking up in the middle of the night to let them out. Anyway, if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you have not, click subscribe if you like my video and are interested in watching more of my videos. I hope you all are enjoying your reading, and much love to my already subscribed people, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright, bye!